Well, hello and welcome back, and a huge thank you for coming back, by the way. I'm sitting in one of my favourite places, and it could be one of your favourite places. The Tala Amphitheatre. This is a little park area, nice little bit of shade. I've got a fabulous view. If you stick with us, I'll share that view with you very, very soon indeed. Today's topic is how much money do you need if you are thinking about moving to live in Cyprus. So let's just say that you are a British person sitting in damp and dreary Birmingham. No insult to Birmingham, by the way, but we often know that it's raining and a little bit dreary. Not the most perfect of places to live, shall we say. And you're thinking about moving to Cyprus. The question is, how do you do it, and how much money do you need to do it? That's what you're thinking about, isn't it? The answer to those questions are very, very simple indeed. If you are a single individual, so you could be a guy on your own, you could be a girl on your own, it doesn't matter what age you are, and you're thinking about relocating to Cyprus, you've got the British passport, and of course Brexit has caused a lot of problems. Well, it has for you. How much money do you need? The simple answer to that question is 24,000 euros. How much is 24,000 euros in the good old British pound? Well, approximately £22,000. You heard me correctly, £22,000. Not that much money. There's not many people in the UK working full-time that are earning less than £22,000 a year. In fact, if you are working full-time in the UK and only getting paid £22,000, somebody somewhere is breaking the law, because the minimum wage dictates that you should earn more than £22,000. So you've already qualified on an income basis. All you've got to do is make sure that you can earn that income remotely. And there's a lot of people who can that just don't realise that they can. Perhaps you are an accountant. Perhaps you're a junior accountant. You haven't got to have your own accountancy firm, but perhaps you could work remotely for the company that you already work for, or you could get another job and work for another company and remotely work for that company, or go one step further and set yourself up as an independent accountant and slowly but surely build up a client base where you can work remotely from whichever country it is in the world. As long as you can produce your income coming from, let's say, the UK when you move to Cyprus, this is the criteria. The money that you are going to prove that you earn in Cyprus, which if you are a single individual is £22,000, 24,000 euros, that money must come from outside of Cyprus. So it can come from the UK, Germany, Switzerland, Sweden, Denmark, wherever it may be. And then it comes to your Cypriot bank account in Cyprus. So, not that much money. So start to put in process the wheels that can make it happen. Now, when you start the immigration process and you come to Cyprus, you will have a period of 3 months, 90 days, in which time you have to register with the immigration services and start to go through the process of immigration. You will be requested to open a bank account, which is easy and not easy. Much easier with an introduction from someone who knows someone at that bank. So again, if you need an introduction, get in contact with us and we can organise that for you. When your bank account is open, you will need to deposit the sum of €10,000, so approximately £9,000. So when the account is opened, you would deposit €10,000, approximately £9,000. Again, this is one of the criteria that will be required when you go for your immigration appointment. So you need to have proof of where your funds are coming from and to deposit €10,000, £9,000 into your Cypriot bank account. The other requirements will be a medical report, simple blood test that proves that there's not a lot wrong with you, an alcohol report, which is a criminal report in the UK, presuming you're coming from the UK, which shows that you are clear with nothing against you for the last 10 years. It's as simple as that. Often people make it much, much more complicated. That man in the pub, that girl in the pub tells you, oh, since Brexit, it's not possible. We're trapped in rather damp and dreary Birmingham for the rest of our lives. This is not true. You are the person that is in charge of your life, and you are the person that can redirect your life. You don't have to be earning that much money, and the paperwork required is not that difficult to obtain. So make sure that your passport has got a minimum of 3 months to run, obviously. I would suggest that if you are coming to relocate to Cyprus, that you would get a brand new passport, so that would leave you with a minimum of, say, 9.5 years on that passport. You would get yourself a clean criminal record report. When you come to Cyprus, have a medical check done. Take out private health insurance, open a bank account, deposit 10,000 euros, be able to transfer on a monthly basis throughout the year to the total amount of 24,000 euros, which is approximately £22,000. And this is a question we get asked quite a lot, by the way, so listen carefully. People say, do I have to transfer approximately £2,000 every month into that account? The answer to that question is no. The account has to show on the annual basis for a single individual €24,000, so approximately £22,000. The first deposit into that account has to be €10,000, so approximately £9,000. Once that has taken place, and as long as all of the other paperwork is in order, and you've got a rental contract in your name for a period of 12 months, and the corresponding bills to that address, the water, the electricity, the rubbish collection tax, and the internet bill in your name, all of this shows that you live at that address. Bank account would obviously be to that address, and the funds going into that account would be, let's say, from the UK, Sweden, Denmark, wherever it may be, as long as there's proof of where those funds come from. You then can transfer money into that account whenever you choose. So, for example, you may transfer that first transfer of 10,000 euros. You may do nothing else for 6 months, as an example. And then you may transfer 10,000, a month later, 4,000 euros more. It's as simple as that. Now, when you come to renew the following year, what the Immigration Service want to see is that you have been spending some of that money, not all of that money, but some of that money. In other words, you've been paying your electricity bill, your water bill, your rubbish collection bill, your internet bill, your rent. You've been going to the supermarket. You've been going to the odd restaurant or two. I think you get the idea. Now, when you come to renew the next time, the amount of deposit in the account currently has to show 6,000 euros. Obviously, the criteria changes as the years go on. If you keep coming back to the channel, we will keep you abreast with what you have to do if you wish to relocate and come and live in Cyprus. If you need help and advice, why not get in contact with us? Why not go through to the website marikaandme.com, send us a little email, and very, very soon indeed you will receive an information pack with some details and some requirements and some of the costs that are involved with you relocating to Cyprus. You can reach out to us via email, relocatetopaphos@gmail.com. Our telephone number and WhatsApp are in the description on this video. Why not reach out and let's schedule a WhatsApp call. Let us get to know you. You can get to know us. You can ask us those questions that are important to you, and we can answer those questions and give you an idea of some of the costs that are involved with you moving to Cyprus. The costs are not as much as you think, and of course, once you've made the move, you will find that your bills and your monthly expenses are probably a lot less than they are in the UK, in Germany, in France, in Switzerland. The cost of most things in Cyprus compared to the UK are around about 20 to 25% less. Now, there are the odd thing that perhaps costs more than the UK. For example, if you were buying a car, if you're buying a brand new car, in many cases it can be cheaper. If you're buying a second-hand car, be prepared for a shock because they're quite a lot more expensive than they are in the UK. Clothes. Sometimes clothes can be more expensive, sometimes they can be less. Some food items are more, some are less, but overall, the cost of living in Cyprus is approximately 20 to 25% less than the UK, and certainly a lot lower than many of the costs in many northern European countries. Want to think about it? Sit down with a piece of paper and start to plan your move to Cyprus. Start to plan your move of how you can earn your income remotely. And remember, many people are already earning their income remotely. They just, for some reason, are staying in the UK with that dreary weather and not much sun in downtown Birmingham. You could be sitting in the sunshine. You could be working remotely on a laptop in Tala. Yes, you could. And it could be much sooner than you think. So start to get the paperwork in order, and there's not that much to it. Get the criminal report. Make sure it's clear for 10 years, obviously. Make sure your passport is up to date. Get the relevant paperwork to show where your funds are coming from. Book yourself a ticket, book yourself into an Airbnb for a couple of weeks, fly out to Cyprus, get in contact with us, and we will start to take you down the process of the immigration. It's as simple as that. When you're here, you'll get a medical and have a blood test to make sure that there's not a lot wrong with you, shall we say. Take out some medical insurance. It can be the lowest medical insurance, by the way, which starts off at around about €150 a year per person. So again, not a lot of money. We can help you to find that perfect rental property. Could be that one-bedroom apartment starting off at around about €600 a month. Probably cheaper than you're already paying in the UK as we speak. Reach out to us and we'll do our very best to make sure that your process to moving to live in Cyprus on the island of love goes as smoothly as possible. I'm going to say a huge thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoy what I've got to talk about, and hopefully you will get in contact with us and ask those questions that you need to ask. And very soon indeed you could be looking at this view. Here it comes, the view from uptown Tala, over the rooftops, over the treetops, straight out into the blue sky, and of course in the distance is that blue Mediterranean Sea on a fabulous day at the end of October. All that's missing is you. And I've said it many times, life is good on the island of love. Thanks for watching.